Welcome everyone to Warrior Wednesday. Today we're going to use a different kind of prop. Today we're going to be using a chair for our practice. So I'm going to give you a second to just run around in your house and find a chair. Any chair will work, but I'm using just kind of a simple straight backed chair without arms. You can even use a couch really for some of these things that we're going to do. You also don't need that. You'll also be able to just do your own practice your own way. I just want to introduce a chair as an option, especially on those days when, let's say, you have an injury, your wrists are bothering you, it's hard for you to get up and down from the floor. I'm very excited to tell you that my mom is on with us this morning, and you guys know that my mom earlier in the year was involved in a very serious car accident and she broke a lot of bones. And so this for her is her way of continuing her yoga practice. So I'd like you to get a comfortable seat, and we will start in the chair. Also, at some point, I will be asking you to find something like a strap or a belt. So if you have that nearby, just keep it handy. But go ahead and just sit in your chair. And ideally, I'd like you at the edge of your seat, here forward, at the edge of your seat, like mentally and then listening, but also physically on your chair. And if you would like, you can put something under your feet, like a pillow or a block or something that might make it even easier to sit here. When you're ready, just close your eyes and start to take some deep breaths. Breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. And just notice that you're breathing. Just this simple pleasure of breathing in and breathing out. My favorite meditation teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, says we should do just this very thing every day for 20 minutes. Sit, breathe in, breathe out, and experience the simple joy of breathing. As we continue breathing, I want to introduce a simple word for our practice today, and that word is beauty. Beauty. So you'll be hearing different nature sounds, and I'd like you to just roll in your mind this idea of beauty, whatever that is to you as you hear these sounds. The beauty of birds, the beauty of a thunderstorm. Bring your hands to your knees and just pull your chest up, and we'll start our movement now with a seated cat and cow. So the closer you are to the edge of your seat, the more you'll be able to move your spine. And I'd like you to just explore how much you can move from the tailbone all the way up through the neck and all the way down and around into that big C curve of the spine. Seated cat cow. I'm hoping in this practice today that you end up with a bunch of ideas for simple things you can do while you're working at your computer, while you're sitting at your desk, or even watching television. To just stop and do this could really be helpful. So we'll come back to neutral and we'll begin to move into a twist. So you're just going to look over your right shoulder. Left hand comes to the right knee, and the right hand will just grab the chair anywhere. So it might be the seat. Depending on your chair, you might be able to reach through or around. And I'd like you to just hold your knee in your hands and use that as a little bit of leverage to help you inhale tall and exhale twist. And just close your eyes and feel that. Inhale tall, exhale twist. And what we've already discovered is this chair gives us something to leverage, which might even help us deepen some of these postures. Ease your way back to center and switch. The right hand comes to the left knee, the left hand behind you, just holding anywhere on the chair. And then pull up through the crown of your head as you breathe in. Exhale as you deepen your twist. The simple joy of breathing in and breathing out. Bringing ourselves back to center. We'll start a little bit bigger movement. So make sure your feet are flat on the ground. Let's inhale the arms up overhead and come up and back as far as you feel comfortable. As you exhale, lead with the arms, but then hinge from the hips over your legs and let your arms reach all the way up behind you. And we'll do that a few times, just moving with your breath. And you might start to bring in that ujjayi breath, that whisper breath that makes a sound as breath crosses the back of your throat. It might even feel a little bit like Darth Vader breath. Just make this movement as big as you possibly can, both ways. Let's come all the way up into this reach. And then from the highest point, take a hold of one wrist and stretch your body up and over. Yawn and move into that side of you. And then reach high and switch up and over. Finding some space in your body. Release your arms slowly wide around you. And then take a hold of the back of your chair or the seat of your chair, whatever you can find, and then just lean forward like you are on the front of the Titanic. Pull your chest forward, let your chair hold you, squeezing shoulder blades onto the back. Deep breaths. You can repeat the mantra if you'd like. I know my heart will go on. Little Titanic humor on a Wednesday. And then let's just release that. Fold yourself over your legs. Bring your hands down in front of you, and you can clasp your hands or your elbows and just lay here on your legs with your head down. This is the seated version of a forward fold. As you breathe into your back, you might just want to rock side to side a little bit. My guess is that we all have tension built up back there. It's a storage place for emotions when we feel like we're backed up against a wall, or maybe the sense that someone doesn't have our back. Our body kind of speaks up. And then let's press our hands to our shins and lengthen, lift halfway. And we'll exhale back to that fold. You might hold on to your ankles to pull you down a little bit. Press to lift. Exhale to fold. Press to lift. And exhale to fold. And then we're going to start to use a little more action, a little more strength. So I need you to put some weight on your legs. And this is where those of you who are wanting to stay in the chair, you're going to just continue to stay in the chair and move your arms. But the rest of us, put your hands on your legs, lean way forward, and just lift your hips slightly off the edge of the chair. And arms can come up into chair pose. And then just keep your abs engaged and just come right back down, just that small movement. So those of us that are, young spring chickens, getting up out of the chair is not a big deal. But the older we get, just that simple act of elevating ourselves out of a chair can be a challenge. So we're just moving in and out of chair pose here, lightly setting our hips down and using our strength to lift us up. 2 more times. let's just come into whatever version of chair pose you prefer, in or out of the seat, and just feel your legs getting warm. Let's slowly reach all the way up high, extended mountain, and then let your arms come down to your side. So we're going to turn around now to face the chair and coming here into mountain pose. We'll do a little version of sun salutations. So let's inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. And you're welcome to move the chair and do full sun salutation. I'm just going to set my hands on the chair and use that as an assist for a forward fold. And then inhale, half lift. You press to a flat back. On the exhale, move back to down dog, and I'm going to keep my hands on the chair. And I absolutely love this version of down dog. So really friendly on the wrists, and an even deeper stretch through the chest and shoulders. Breathe deep. You can bend and straighten your knees here. And then keeping our feet back where they are, shift your body forward, come into a plank pose. And I'm going to use the chair again just to assist and hold my body weight. This is a great place to stay and just work on upper body strength. It's also a great opportunity to practice those chaturanga, those yogi push-ups, in a way that's more friendly to the wrist and a little bit easier than when we're on the floor. Let's step back to downward facing dog. Come a little closer to your chair, lift halfway. And then exhale, come down into a forward fold, either holding the chair or letting your hands come all the way down to the earth. Bend and straighten your knees. And on an inhale, soft knees, let's sweep the arms all the way up high and come back into a little back bend. And we'll exhale our hands to heart. So let's just do one more of those chair salutations. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold, with or without the chair. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose, knees or toes. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And again, you can just modify all of that with or without your chair. And then looking forward, step or hop, come into that half lift. Exhale, deepen, forward fold, using the chair or not. I'd like you to let a long breath go here. Nod your head yes and shake your head no. On an inhale, sweep your arms all the way up overhead. And exhale back to your heart. Pause. The sounds of nature. The simple joy of breath. Moving body. All right, so go ahead and take your chair, and we're actually just I'm gonna turn mine sideways because I'm gonna use the corner of my chair now. We're moving into some warrior poses. And this is another thing that I really, really love about using a chair. So I'm gonna have my right foot kind of bent over the chair and then just rest my hip down on the corner of the chair. So depending on what kind of chair you have, you might need to, it might be more sideways, might be a little less corner, but see if you can find some support for your right hip. We're going to press that back outer ankle into the ground and reach up into warrior one. And just notice what happens in your body in warrior one when you don't have to work so hard to hold your weight. So you can press more firmly into that back foot. Arms reach a little higher. You might even find a little more of a back bend in your warrior pose. You can take a hold of your left wrist and just stretch it up a little higher. Give yourself a little more side length. Perfect. And then just open out into warrior two. Not into warrior two. Again, the right leg is slightly supported. We're looking out over our right middle knuckles. Shoulders relax. Breath deepens. Let's turn the right palm and reverse the warrior. Just take a few breaths here in reverse warrior, right hip supported, allowing you to just open your side body so much. Yeah, and if being on the floor is what feels better to you, please do that. Give yourself permission to practice in the way you need to today. On the exhale, side angle. So we'll either come to that front thigh, left arm up, or supported, you might feel that you can reach your hand down inside that leg a little farther. Beautiful. Let's take the left arm way up over the head. Stretch the side body longer. Lovely. Nice. On the inhale, come back to reverse warrior. We'll move with breath. Exhale, warrior two. Sweep it around. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, warrior two. Sweep around, warrior one. And this time, interlace your fingers. Press your palms high. So really intentional. Back foot presses down firmly. Hands reach high. And then just release. Come to center and bring yourself back to standing. I always feel just a lot more in my hips when I do that. Let's do a chair salutation. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Downward facing dog. Plank pose, knees or toes, and you can just stay there, or you can take that little vinyasa, lower down and lift up. It's a different take. Downward facing dog. Allow your chest to fall through, stretch your shoulders. And then come forward to your half lift. Hold all the way down. Scoop the arms up, take a deep breath in, move into your little back bend. And bring your hands to your heart. All right, let's move to warriors on the second side. So take a second to adjust your chair in a way that feels like it supports you. So I don't know if I can show this very well on camera, but what some people do is actually straddle the whole chair, because that gives you like that whole seat underneath your left thigh for support. That's an idea depending on your chair. I'm going to use the corner again. It's for my hip. Okay, back foot presses down, arms reach up, warrior one. And just take your time to get that back foot grounded, outer leg firm and strong. Take a hold of your right wrist and stretch up and over. Feel breath in your waist, between your rib and your hip bone. Peel open into warrior two. Let the chair hold your weight. Shift your eyes over your left fingers. Breathe here. Nice. And then we'll turn that left palm, reverse the warrior. Give yourself lots and lots of room here. Right foot stays strong on the earth. Left arm reaches higher. On the exhale, let's come to side angle. So the option is always to rest on the thigh, but supported in the chair, this might give you an opportunity to go deeper, closer to the floor. Let's reach the arm up over the ear, anchor through your right foot, and then pull those fingers away, stretch, breathe. See what you can release here in this side body. Let's flow with breath. Slowly come back up. Reverse warrior. Warrior two. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Beautiful, you guys. Reverse warrior. Breathe in. Side angle. Breathe out. Reverse. Warrior two. Sweep to warrior one. Interlace your fingers and press high. And your torso might be a little bit angled here too. You might not be straight over that front leg. Press your hands high, anchor your feet. And then as we release our hands down, turn so that you're sitting right at the edge of your seat again, but with your feet really wide. And we're just going to let ourselves come down now into this wide-legged forward fold. You're going to notice something here in your hips, kind of pinching through the hips, but also opening. You can use your elbows pressing against your legs to give you a little more hip opening, inner thigh stretch. Lengthen through the crown of your head, and then just fold down. Shake your neck out. And bring yourself back up. All right, bringing your feet closer together. Let's take that chair back to where it was the first time, and we're going to go into some really awesome, I think, opening postures. So first of all, hands on the edge of the seat, come back to your downward facing dog, and this time the hips are wider, or the feet are wider. The head gets a chance to fall through the arms. Put a giant bend in one knee and come all the way up onto the toes of that foot, and then switch. Alternate, and you're just going to start to notice something around the edges of your hips. All the way up into your side body. See if you can move slowly enough to feel that stretch from your fingertips up your arms, around your armpits, your ribs, and your waist, and down the outer leg. We'll do one more time on each side. Heel toe your feet together, release a little bit of the weight, and then go ahead and drop your knees to the earth. Come down into a chair child's pose. So this is a pretty intense stretch for the shoulders. So allow yourself to go as deeply as you can, letting your arms come back and your head come forward. Deepen your breath. And let's shift our weight forward. Moving into a lunge. Okay, so option one, easiest option. We do this all the time. Just put a foot at the top of the mat and come into a hip flexor stretch. Okay, and you can just use the chair or the floor. Option two, for a deep hip opening. Love this one. If you have the mobility in your hips, you're going to put your foot on your chair and come forward. So now we have the ability to just let that back knee drop a bit. Ooh la la. Yeah, that's a pretty high step for anyone that has super stiff hips or injury. So the floor could be a better option on this one, and then the chair is there to assist you. Knee drops down. And then depending on what you're feeling, if you have the balance, you could hold one hand on the chair and lift the opposite arm up. Massive hip flexor opening. And as we release, we're just going to slide back to a hamstring stretch. So if you're on the floor, you're on your back knee. If you're using the chair, your toes pull back. You can just slide that foot forward a little bit. Find your hamstring. I believe our body loves looking at things differently, changing things. It's kind of surprising our body with something new and different. Put a soft bend in that knee. Use your hands to help you step back and come to mountain pose and see if you can tell. It's like, to me, it always feels like I'm standing crooked when I've just stretched one hip flexor. So let's get the other side. We'll take the other foot either. So again, option one is your left foot is on the floor, your left knee is down, and you're just using your chair or the floor for support. Option two, the left foot comes onto the chair and we scooch back, and we've got a nice deep lunge. Ah. So what if you did this every day when you've been sitting at your desk for too long? That'd be good. If you'd like a little more, support yourself on your chair and reach your right arm up. Go for length and space across that hip. And we'll release. Bring that foot off. Come back to downward dog, either on the chair or the floor. And then if you'd like, take a vinyasa. Shift forward and down. Give yourself a little heat, a little upper body focus. And we'll meet in down dog. Okay, here's some more fun. We're going to move into pigeon pose. So if you love pigeon on the floor, you're just going to take your pigeon on the floor, right leg forward. But I absolutely love this one too. I'm going to bring my right leg sideways onto the chair. So either on the floor or on the chair, we've got our pigeon. Right knee to the right wrist, or right leg on the chair. When I had a little more mobility in my hips, I used to do this at the bathroom sink in the morning while I put on my makeup. So wherever you find yourself, can you just allow a little bit of rest here? Just lowering down, maybe support your head. Breathe into what you're feeling around your hip. Soften whatever you can soften. Take another deep breath in and out, the simple joy of breathing. And slowly, however you can, make your way out of pigeon pose. Come back into downward facing dog, either with or without the chair. And then you can just take that right leg up and just shake it out. And open up your hip. You can flow through another vinyasa if you like. And we'll start to just ease our way into the left side of pigeon, either on the floor or using your chair. Sometimes you might notice that one side appreciates one thing and the other side needs something a little different. We've got time here to just make adjustments, to wiggle around. One thing I really like about pigeon on a chair is it feels safer to the front knee, while also allowing you to kind of get into that back hip flexor a little bit more. So it might be interesting just to change it up from time to time. You can rest your head down on your chair or your hands or a pillow. And we'll be here for a bit. So just close your eyes. Feel your breath as you listen to the sound of nature, of water, the word beauty. And just notice if you're kind of holding yourself out of the posture, is there any way you can bend more or surrender any more to this posture? Let's take one more breath in pigeon pose. And then start to release that. Come back again into downward facing dog. And we'll shake out our left leg. Just give it some movement. Open up your hip. And again, if you'd like to take a vinyasa between sides, that's here for you. And I just realized I forgot something on the left side, so we're going to go backwards in time, friends. We're going to put our left foot back on the chair or the floor in front of us because we forgot that hamstring stretch. And I don't know about you, but I'm a little bit OCD, so I would have thought about that all day and had to come back and get it. So hamstring on the left side. Breath, beauty. Okay, let's release that. And we're going to come down to the floor facing away from the chair. We'll use our chair now for camel. So if you want to pat up underneath your knees a little bit, an easy way to do that is just to pull your mat back and make it like a little triple roll under your knees. And then the chair will be behind us. We'll go through a couple of different levels of camel. So starting here, straight upright on your knees, you can decide if you want feet flat or toes tucked. Start with your hands on your hips and press your hips toward the wall in front of you. Press your glutes down and then lift your chest. You can also do this sitting in a chair. So that's a great place to stay. We can deepen this posture by reaching back and finding either the seat or the legs of the chair. And I kind of like to find the legs. I like the position of my hands around the legs of the chair. We want to find something that feels like chest expansion, upper back strength, and lower back length. So if you feel lower back crunch or pinch, I want you to lift up. Like pull your spine up and out of your hips. And now, depending on the chair you have, you might be able to walk your hands down farther or back farther. Find a place where you can take 3 more deep breaths in camel. And then let's release. You can come to sit on your heels right in front of your chair. If that hurts your knees, stay up a little bit more upright. But we're just going to allow the chair to hold our back. Just going to allow the chair to just hold us here in a back bend for a moment. Just a little bit of rest after that work of camel. The rib cage is open, the chest is lifted. If you're on the floor, you can lay all the way back down in hero pose. And slowly come out of that. And extend your mat if it's folded. And we'll bring ourselves to a seat. And this is where, if you do have a strap, you're going to want to use this strap. So let's start with a seated version of what we just did. Just reach back, grab a hold of the back of the chair, pull your chest forward. We did this earlier with our Titanic stretch. See if it's any more loose and free and accessible to you now. Move your neck a little bit. And then we'll release that. So this is where, like, depending on your chair, you can loop your strap through the slats in the back of the chair. I don't have any, so I'm going to go underneath my chair. I'm going to reach the band underneath the chair so that it's coming up like this. And if you don't have that, you're just going to reach your arms overhead. It's not a big deal. This is just a little assist that's really nice. So pull yourself as tall as you can, and then start to walk your hands down your strap or your belt towards the back of the chair. And some of you might even be able to reach your hands right to the back of your chair. What we want is sitting bones at in the seat, elbows to the sky, and then we're just going to pull the elbows even higher. So it's like your elbows are trying to help you lift your chest. You're feeling a stretch in your triceps, most likely. This is a big back bend, so just breathe here. Length and strength. And if I'm in this shape, I always feel heat. Turning up the heat. Take another deliberately big breath in and exhale audibly out as you release the pose. Let your strap go and bring both of your hands over your heart, just this connection to body and breath. And just see what's here to be seen, to be exposed and held. Right here around your heart. And just gently release your hands. Thank your body for any wisdom it gives you, always. Let's cross into a figure 4. Another variation of pigeon. So we've got that right knee crossed over the left, right ankle on the left knee. Put both of your hands on the knee and just give a little pressure down as you lift tall. Just press down, lift tall. Nice. we'll keep the figure four. The left hand comes to the right knee. The right arm scoops back to grab anywhere on the chair for a twist. You go chair bottom, chair back, reach all the way to the other side. Wiggle around until you find a handhold that helps you press on your left knee and pull on the chair. Press on the left and pull on the chair. Use your abs in and out to exaggerate this pose. And gently come back to center. We'll move into chair eagle. So you can cross that leg over a little farther, and just depending on your knees and your ankles, you might just sit like you're sitting in an office chair with high heels, Ron and Paul. Or you can wrap that foot behind. And this is a really fun way to practice pigeon because we don't have to worry about the balance with this. Arms open out in a T. Right arm crosses underneath the left arm. So you can wrap all the way. If that doesn't feel great, just put your hands on your shoulders. And then we get to move here with breath. So we inhale to lift the elbows as high as we can. Exhale, fingertips reach forward, elbows hug down toward that top leg. Move with breath. Inhale, lift up and back. Exhale, tuck and round. Do that a couple more times, moving with breath. And then we'll just stay upright and walk, reach the fingers forward as much as you possibly can. You'll feel that opening in your upper back. And then hug the arms in, squeeze down. Squeeze down in your armpits. This is that stimulation for our lymph nodes, our lymphatic system, our immune system. And then just release, uncross. Take your knees wide and just kind of windshield wiper them side to side a bit. And let's cross the left foot on top of the right knee, figure four. And just finding that tall spine, we'll place our hands on that left knee and press it down. So as we inhale, the spine pulls up and out. And as we exhale, we just give a little pressure, a little opening. We'll take that right into a twist, right hand on the knee, left hand kind of fiddles around until it finds a handhold on your chair. You can just close your eyes and feel the spine lengthening as you breathe in and the twist deepening as you breathe out. Again, use your abdominals. Inhale, push your belly out. Exhale, squeeze your belly in as tightly as you can to help you deepen your twist. Coming back to center, let's find chair eagle. So cross your legs, you can dangle your foot. You might even enjoy touching it onto a block if that feels helpful, or bind it all the way around. Left arm is under the right arm. So find your version of eagle. Maybe you're a person who's never really been able to get this bind because you're always struggling with balance. So here you go. On the inhale, elbows come high as you can reach them. On the exhale, fingers forward and then follow the arms down, tuck down. Inhale to lift and lower. Just move with your breath. And let's just stay lifted as high as you can get those fingers. Reach the fingers forward, open your shoulder blades. You might even twist your wrist just a little bit more. And now big sigh as you squeeze down through your armpits. And you can just visualize just compressing the lymph nodes, helping the lymphatic system de-junk your body, detox, move toxins out. As we release, let's put both feet on the floor and just slowly float your arms up, like floating underwater, and then float them back down. Just let that blood flow come back into your fingers. Nice. Do that one more time. Float your arms up high and float your arms back down to your sides. And just let your hands rest on your legs, palms up, eyes closed. I'm going to give you the option for Shavasana of sitting here with your back against the chair, held. Or you can transition to the floor. And if you'd like, if you're on the floor, you can put your feet on the chair. That makes a really nice kind of a legs up the wall, relaxing sensation. I'll give you a moment to find the position that works for you. And when you get there, just close your eyes and feel the soft inside of you. The simple joy of breathing in and breathing out. The beauty inside of you. The beauty outside of you. The gentleness of a soul and a body existing together here quietly. And as you rest, allow me to share Mary Oliver's poem, The Summer Day, with you. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean, the one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last, and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life. Let your next breath be a little deeper, a little more held, and let your next exhale be slow, sweet, long. Begin to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Begin to stretch your body up and out from wherever you are. Start to make your way back to a seat, to this screen, to this gathering of beautiful yogis. So what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? May I suggest taking a day to simply ponder the word beauty. As I was thinking about this class on my way, literally in the door of my building, I picked up this beautiful, beautiful round and precious stone. And this simple, elegant green leaf. And this astounding flower. There's beauty right outside our door that we are missing in our scrolling, in our strife. I ask that we spend our wild and precious life today looking for beauty. And I see a lot of it in front of me right now. And to you I say, namaste.